You walk into a hotel lobby and something feels familiar. The chandeliers, the marble floors, then it hits you. You've seen this place before. Maybe it was in a movie, a TV show, or even a Taylor Swift video. Because in LA, even checking into a hotel can feel like stepping into a scene you already know. Welcome to Pop Culture Passport, your ultimate guide to quirky and cool destinations across the US. I'm your host, Beth Scalacci, aka the Roman Yeti, here to help you dive into the world of theme parks, uncover film and TV locations, and explore quirky museums, roadside attractions, and legendary venues that capture the heart and soul of this unique country. So grab your pop culture passport and let's discover destinations that resonate with your interest, not just with what's trending on social media. Are you ready? Let's roam! Welcome back. Today we're checking into a few of the most famous hotels in Los Angeles, places that have been movie sets, creative hideaways, and cultural icons for over a century. These hotels tell the story of Hollywood itself, its golden age, its secrets, and its reinventions. And each one holds a piece of movie history and a reflection of the city that never quite stops performing. Now, if you want to start your journey through cinematic LA, you can't do much better than the Hollywood Roosevelt. It stands right there on Hollywood Boulevard across from the Chinese Theater. It's one of those places that just doesn't just remember old Hollywood, it is old Hollywood. Now, the Roosevelt opened in 1927 and it was bankrolled by silent film royalty Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford, and Sid Grauman. Yes, the same man who brought the Chinese and Egyptian theaters just down the road. For them, the Roosevelt wasn't just a hotel, it was part of a dream, a place where the emerging movie industry could finally feel legitimate. Now, 2 years later, after opening, the dream became official when the very first Academy Awards were held right there in the Blossom Room. The event was 15 minutes, 270 guests, and zero television cameras. Just a quiet dinner among peers celebrating a brand new art form. It's so hard to imagine that today's multi hour red carpet spectacle started in this intimate space with barely more ceremony than a company banquet. Now, if you step inside today, the Roosevelt still feels like a portal to that golden age. Spanish colonial revival architecture and carved wood beams, the lobby just hums with a quiet glamour. Now, Marilyn Monroe once lived here early in her career, and she rented a second floor room overlooking the Tropicana pool. Now, this is the same pool where she had her first modeling shoot. You can just picture her in that perfect California light, part royal person, part legend in the making. Speaking of legends, Clark Gable and Carol Lombard used to take over the penthouse, sneaking up the service elevator for privacy. And if you believe local lore, the hotel even had secret tunnels connecting it to Grauman's Chinese theater so stars could move unseen between premieres and after parties. It's the kind of story that might sound like Hollywood exaggeration, but with the Roosevelt, it also feels totally possible. The Roosevelt has continued to find its place in pop culture long after the Golden Age. Its poolside cabanas and neon glow show up in Curb Your Enthusiasm and The Hills. While in A Star is Born in 2018, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga share a scene here before the Grammys. The perfect modern echo of the hotel's legacy as a place where fame and heartbreak often meet. Now, we decided to stop in to the Roosevelt during our trip in May, based on a friend's recommendation, and I'm so glad we did. Like I said, the lobby has this grand and dark, and glamorous feeling, but then you walk outside into the pool area, and it is an oasis in this city. It's quiet, you can't hear the street noise. It just you can see and feel what brought the stars to this place. We did have lunch at the pool, and I can definitely recommend the Turkey Club if you're, looking for a menu suggestion. Now, if Hollywood Roosevelt is where the stars stepped into the spotlight, the Chateau Marmont is where they went to hide. Perched above Sunset Strip like a fairy tale fortress, the chateau doesn't just overlook Hollywood, it seems to float above it, detached, dreamy. Built in 1929 and modeled after France's Chateau de M. Never mind, you know I'm going to mispronounce it, and I just did. It looks like a misplaced European castle. And in a city built on reinvention, it's one of the first places that has never tried to change who it is. Like, the chateau wasn't even meant to be a hotel at first. It began as an upscale apartment building, which explains its home like suites with kitchens and fireplaces and little nooks for privacy. When the Great Depression hit, it was converted into a hotel. But the bones stayed the same. The layout gave it something no other place in LA could match: discretion. The kind of privacy that allowed movie stars, musicians, and dreamers to live and sometimes unravel completely unseen. There is a saying in Hollywood: if you're going to get into trouble, do it at the Chateau Marmont because it will never leave the walls. And it's true, you know, so much. Over the years, those walls have absorbed decades of scandals, creativity, and even heartbreak. Clark Gable and Jean Harlow reportedly had an affair here. Jim Morrison once tried to swing from a balcony and fell, surviving the fall, but not the legend. And Led Zeppelin allegedly roared motorcycles through the lobby in the 1970s. Each story is a little exaggerated, a little unbelievable, and that's exactly what keeps the chateau's mythology alive. For artists and outsiders, it's always been a sanctuary. It's where John Belushi spent his last night, where Hunter S. Thompson and Johnny Depp wrote and schemed, and where countless rock stars came to escape the chaos of the industry below. But on screen, the chateau becomes something else entirely. Sofia Coppola filmed nearly all of Somewhere here, confining the camera to one suite to capture a celebrity's quiet loneliness. The idea that fame can feel like a gilded cage. In La La Land, when Mia finally makes it big, she moves into the chateau. It's a signal that she's made it. But the way it's shot, a little too pristine, a little too distant, shows the trade off that comes with success. The chateau was built for people who wanted to live inside their own movie, far away from the noise of everyone else. After the shadowy privacy of the chateau, we're going to head back downtown to the Hotel Figueroa, which feels like walking in the sunlight. Its tall, pale facade rises from Figueroa Street like an exhale. Bold arches, warm tile work, and a history unlike any hotel in LA. When the hotel opened in 1926, it wasn't built for movie stars at all. It was built by the YWCA, owned, operated, and managed entirely by women at a time when most hotels wouldn't even let women check in without a man. It offered safe lodging for women traveling alone and quickly became a gathering spot for writers, artists, and activists. That alone makes it a piece of social history. But what fascinated me is how it's managed to keep that spirit alive nearly a century later. After decades of decline, the hotel was lovingly restored and reopened in 2018 as a boutique art hotel that still honors its feminist roots. The lobby now feels like a modern gallery, its walls lined with pieces of local women's art, its bar glowing with brass and soft desert tones, and even the cocktails have names to nod to the past, like Sister of the Traveling Pants, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and Good Trouble. It also had its pop culture moments. The hotel has appeared in Bosch, Insecure, and Southland, as well as in guest spots on 90210, CSI Miami, and NCIS Los Angeles. Directors love the contrast, the Spanish colonial bones paired with sleek modern lighting. The hotel's atmosphere says LA reinvented itself again and survived. In a city that celebrates illusion, this hotel has always been about identity. Now we're going to leave downtown behind, and our next hotel takes us to Pasadena, to the Langham Huntington. Now, this hotel was opened in 1914 and is elegant in architectural form. It was originally known as the Huntington Hotel. It was actually built to attract East Coast travelers who wanted all the grandeur of New York or Boston without all the New York and Boston snow. With its sweeping verandas, white columns, and mountain views, it became a winter playground for Hollywood's elite long before Beverly Hills took the spotlight. This is the kind of place where you half expect to see someone in gloves and a hat descend the stairways, a film crew just out of frame. In a way, they often are. The Langhams is one of Hollywood's favorite shapeshifters. It appears in The Parent Trap from 1998 and the wedding venue that reunites the twins' parents. It was in Saving Mr. Banks, where it stands in for 1960s Disney glamour, and in Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Westworld, where it transformed into something entirely different. Directors just love it because it can be anywhere: London, Beverly Hills, even San Francisco, just with a change of a sign. In a city famous for transformation, it's almost rebellious. The Langham is proof that LA reality and fantasy aren't opposites. They're partners in the same dance, and sometimes the most authentic thing in town is a place that's been pretending for over 100 years. Now, last but not least, we are headed downtown Los Angeles to the Millennium Biltmore, which has seen nearly a century of Hollywood come and go. The Biltmore opened in 1923 as the largest hotel west of Chicago, a monument to ambition, in a city just learning how to dream big. Its Beaux Arts design is a spectacle: marble fountains, carved ceiling, and painted angels by Italian artist Giovanni Smeraldi. Even the elevators feel grand enough for a red carpet entrance. And this is where the early Academy Award banquets were held, where studio executives once sealed deals over cigars, and where the definition of movie star itself was being written in real time. The Biltmore wasn't just a hotel, it was Hollywood's ballroom. And if you've ever walked into the Crystal Ballroom, you've seen a space that's somehow both massive and intimate. It's the same room where Ghostbusters filmed its first major haunting. Remember the Sedgwick Hotel scene with slime flying and chandeliers swaying? Yeah, that was in LA. It was where the prom for Pretty in Pink took place, and it's where The Dark Knight Rises used it to portray fancy Gotham events. And even you saw it in Mad Men slip effortlessly into the 1960s. And for many fans, including our family, it was impossible not to think of Taylor Swift's Delicate video. She dances through the lobby barefoot, invisible to everyone around her, spinning across marble floors and leaping in onto the check-in desk before running out into the rain. It's one of those moments that perfectly captures what makes the Biltmore special. A place that can hold both the nostalgia of old Hollywood and the pop magic of now. Honestly, the Delicate music video was the reason we visited the hotel in May. My daughter walked around the hotel taking pictures of each scene from that video, and we enjoyed a beverage at the lounge and learned about the rest of the filming and, both filming history and actual history that unfolded in this hotel. It was a last minute stop, but I'm really glad we made it. Um, every hotel we've explored here, from the Roosevelt's timeless glamour to the Chateau's secrecy, from the Figueroa's rebellion and to the Langham's illusion, represents a different version of Hollywood. But the Biltmore brings them all together. It's where the city's past and present meet in one grand echoing space. In a way, these hotels are like time machines. They let us walk through scenes we already know, but we get to see them differently as travelers instead of spectators. So if you find yourself in LA, step inside one of these lobbies, order a coffee or a cocktail, look up, listen. You might hear echoes of the past, or maybe your own footsteps will become part of its story. Because in LA, the set never really closes and the story never really ends. And with that, we add another stamp to our pop culture passport. I hope this episode inspires you to get out and explore all of this quirky and cool, even in your own backyard. Follow, download, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Please tell a friend and leave a review if you like what we're doing. It really helps the show to grow. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for The Roaming Yeti. Keep roaming and finding your fun.